These are case notes on case number 1522. Patient's name is Leanne Balchuk. Suffers from paranoid delusions due to severe stress in her personal and professional life. After 60 consecutive weekly sessions, I'm unable to make any progress with the patient. In fact, she's gotten worse. And it's killing me that I want to kill her for coming up with a new delusion every week. And that's not good for anyone. If there's no progress to be made today, I'll have to refer her to Dr. Thompson, and this will most likely be our last session.
I think, I can't believe I'm saying this, I think my husband is the BTM serial killer.
Wow. What makes you think that?
I didn't want to believe it at first, but all the clues point to it.
What clues?
Well, he's always coming home late and going out weird hours. He always says he had to work late, but I checked and he's lying.
That doesn't necessarily mean he's killing.
And whenever he comes home, he always goes straight for the shower, even though he already took one in the morning.
That still doesn't mean he's a...
One night, I followed him and he checked into a seedy motel and stayed there for hours.
Oh. There could be another reason for that.
But you don't understand. That's what the BTM killer does. He uses motel rooms as torture dens for his victims. I've been following the case for months. My husband is doing everything he does. Oh, I also found a pair of women's underwear in his backseat.
Mrs. Balchuk, I think you're misunderstanding the clues here.
But the papers say that's what the BTM killer saves as souvenirs from his victims. Their underwear. And there's more. I also found several boxes of condoms in his glove compartment. The BTM puts those on his fingers so he doesn't leave any prints.
And you're sure that he's not using them for anything else?
What else could they be used for? Oh, and there's more. I also found a bag hidden in his trunk that had handcuffs and a leather whip. That's what the BTM uses to bind and torture his victims.
Mrs. Balchuk, I'm sure there's a different use for those.
Oh, there's more. I checked his credit card receipts. He's been making purchases of women's lingerie and jewelry. Didn't give any of it to me.
I think there's a better explanation for that than he's killing people.
But the news says the BTM is a transvestite that dresses up like a woman in order to gain their trust and lure them back to motel rooms.
Mrs. Balchuk, everything you've told me here today can be explained. I think you're completely misreading the situation.
No, I'm not. Oh, what finally convinced me was last night. I kept calling and calling his phone and someone finally answered. It was a woman and she was screaming in pain. I called him right during a kill and heard the whole thing.
I don't think that was a woman in pain, Mrs. Balchuk.
I know what a woman dying sounds like. She was fighting for her life and making noises like, oh God,
For
oh my God.
Christ's sake, Mrs. Balchuk, your husband is having an affair.
What? You think?
The clues?
Oh my God! Oh my God, I'm so stupid! Of course! That explains everything! Oh my God, I'm so relieved! Oh, you have no idea! All this time I thought, not married to a killer!
You see, Mrs. Balchuk, you let your anxiety get the best of you again.
But I am married to a cheating bastard! That no good, filthy, lying, low-life, bum-sucking douchebag!
Balchuk.
How could he do this to me? Cheating on me, huh? I'll show him.
What are you doing?
I found a number I didn't recognize in his cell phone. I'm gonna find out who this woman is and blow her brains out.
Oh, calm down, Mrs. Balchuk. Please, you don't want to do anything rash here. Please, think this through.
you.
No, Mrs. Balchuk. It's not what you think. Please, no.
Hi, Dr. Richards. This is Michael Balchuk again.
Michael?
I need to schedule an emergency appointment. I had another blackout. That alter personality is emerging, and I think I did something horrible last night. Call me back right away. I may be the BTM killer. Thanks.
Oops.